This video covers pixel pipe. Pixel pipe is an innovation that HolidayCoro came up with many years ago based off of half-inch PVC. Now, this means that these tracks are actually the same exact diameter as half-inch PVC you can get in the US at the normal hardware store. Now, the difference here is pixel pipe has tracks. Now, these tracks, you can see that they're spaced at 1-inch spacing, and they are designed for normal 12mm pixel nodes. These are designed so that you can put the pixel through and then have them come out on the other side. As you can see here, they stay in nice and tight, and it also ensures perfect spacing. Now, this product as a track is available in, as you can see here, white. It's also available in a mill finish, and that's just silver. And we have a black. Now, the reason why you would use black is if you're looking for ultimate hiding. So if you don't want any kind of reflections coming off of your tracking, and you want it to look really clean at night, that is great. This doesn't look as great during the day on a house. Now, these are typically used for house outlines, but they can be used for many other projects, and we have various different mounts for them. House outlines could also include doing things such as windows. All right, so we have a whole slew of different accessories to make this a complete system. So let's start with the first basic parts. The first is the clip. This is item number 770, and this clip is designed to be used outdoors. It is made with a super durable plastic designed for UV resistance, but also to still be pliable enough to clip onto these pipes. So when I clip this on here, you can see, oops, we can clip it on, and we can go quite a bit of ways around the product. Now, if I clip it on this way, oops, like this would be the typical way it would be put on. So if you have this, let's say, under a soffit and you have it facing down, you can also tilt this at an angle. So for example, here you could mount it vertically here and then have the pixels hanging down. Now, there are some other options here. Sometimes you may need to make this track fit further down in the soffit. You may have a lip on the fascia. So we have spacers. This is item number 771. These are stackable. There's a little indentation in the back of the clip, and these simply just clip on here like this. So you can add as many as you need to be able to create the spacing you want. So what you would do is you would come up, put a screw through this, and it would go through all of these into your mounting surface here. And so you can get the exact spacing you need. These are each 1/4 inch additional spacing, so you can easily add them as needed. Now, as mentioned, these are designed to be left outside. All of this is made from a super durable plastic designed for UV resistance. The reason it is clear is so that it is less visible when left on a house in the off season. And the advantage here is that you can make this product so that you could put it up very easily. You can build all of your tracks on the ground, test them all, and you can simply just go up and pop them into place. This makes installation super easy. It also has perfect spacing, so you'll always have the exact right spacing. You won't have any inconsistencies. Also, should you need to make modifications or fix a pixel, you can easily pull a track down and then bring it into your garage or basement and do any kind of repairs necessary. Now, there are various other use cases for this, and I'm going to go through some various different tools and accessories to make that happen. So the first is this template. So this template allows us to cut 90-degree corners into the pixels. So when you, the track. So once you line this up, if you simply just draw a line along this corner right here, just take a pencil. If you cut that, that means that when you do the 90-degree corner, it will line up perfectly. You'll have absolutely no problems at all. So when you use a 90-degree corner like this, you'll have a nice mitered corner exactly in the right spot. All right, It'll also tell you where the factory edge is. So if you're butting up two pipes together, and let's say you have to cut these to length because they are very long, and you may want to put them in smaller sections, you can simply line them up. And when you put a line through here with your pencil, usually a mechanical pencil is fine, what that will do is that will show you where the factory edge is. So when you use a coupler, you'll get the exact spacing. There will be no errors in spacing. So this little jig allows you to do that. Now, we also have another jig. Actually, you're usually used in two pairs, and so these are jigs that will hold your pixel pipe while you put the pixels in. You'll see that there are some holes in the bottom. You can put these onto, let's say, a table or workbench and screw them down with some screws. Now, what you would do is you would align them usually together. You could, again, use one, but if you use two and you space them out, this allows you to easily come along and simply just push your pixels in there and then slide them down. So this makes installing your pixels significantly faster and easier. All right, and these are item number 1893 for installation jigs. All right, as mentioned, these are our clips, 770, and the spacers, 771. All right. Now, also, by the way, we do have sample pieces if you would like to try this with your pixels. This is designed for a normal 12 millimeter pixel, so usually it'll be about 11.5 on the neck, and this is what that's designed for. You can get these in sample pieces. Just feel free to let us know. All right, now, you of course need to make sometimes connections. So if you're doing a section that's, let's say, 12 feet long, you may take this section and cut it to 6 foot and 6 foot. So that's just easier to store or to put up on a ladder. So you may only need a small section. Now these are very structurally strong. They are made from aluminum and they are powder coated. So these will never rust and never corrode. Now, when you do make that connection, you will need a coupler just to make sure that they, one, structurally are aligned, and then the pixel spacing is signed. So you simply just get this adapter, and, or coupler I should say, and you can simply just slide these together, and there you go. Your pixel will be able to go through the back side of this if you do need that, if your pixel holes are landing in that particular location. Now, these are straight couplers, and they are available in white, clear. The clear is going to be the strongest here, and black. All right. Now, we also have corners. Now, we have two corners. We have a 90-degree, and this one's not mitered on this pipe, but normally you would have it mitered. Again, using your jig, you would have it mitered. You would cut it at 90, and then this would allow you to have a pixel right at the corner here and right at the corner here, not with one on the exact corner. So this is if you're making super sharp corners right here. One thing to keep in mind is where you're going to land your pixels based on spacing. If you have 2-inch spacing, 3-inch spacing, or so on, you'll need to make sure it lands appropriately. All right, and that again is available here, in this case, as black and white. Okay, now, you may want a pixel that lands exactly in the corner. As mentioned, make sure your spacing works out. So when you're planning this out, that if you are going to use a corner piece, that you have a pixel so it lands in this corner. So if you're doing every 2 inches, you would do pixel, skip a hole, pixel, skip a hole, pixel, skip a hole, and so on. So make sure your spacing is appropriate for that. Now the advantage to these is, of course, you get a pixel in the corner, so it lands exactly in the corner. You don't have any kind of angles or anything. And it also allows flush cuts. So this one does not require special miter at a 45-degree angle. You can just do a straight 90-degree cut. Again, use your jig, and if you use your jig and you mark it off, you will note that the jig allows you to get the exact spacing, so you know exactly where to cut that. All right, now that is available in black, white, and clear. Clear is going to be the strongest and the lowest cost. All right, now the next thing we have is a 4-way, and this is pretty self-explanatory. It's basically just a 90 with some extra edges. Now, if you have mullions in windows, Let's say you're going to make a cross in the middle of your window, or you're making some special design that you need sections going outward. This is a good option. It not only has the pixel holes on the edges, but it also has one in the center. All right. Now, there's some other options here. We do have, this is not really a requirement, some customers just prefer to do this. We do have end caps, and you can get these caps, and they will just, let me push them in there. You can plug these caps in there. Oops, there we go. The cap on the end, and that makes them less of a scraping hazard, and they just make them look cleaner. Sometimes we have commercial installations where you want this to look very finished, and these caps will allow you to do that. And these are available in black or white. Now, you also may want to fill in the holes. Now, in most cases, this just doesn't matter because many times your track is facing downward if you're using a house outline, and so empty holes based upon your spacing, perfectly fine. But for customers who really want a finished look, or if you're doing something commercial, you can purchase caps, and these are white or black, and you can just pop these in place like that. And you can see they fill in the holes, and they make a nice finished look. So you can add those as spacers. All right. Now, one of our final ones is where you may have a need to mount this at a 90-degree angle. Let's just say here that we have a brick ledge. Let's say that this is a corner of our window, and we want to come up here and we want to do, let's say, a 90 degrees. So let's get us a piece here and there. Oops. So let's say we want to put this in this corner. Now the problem with that is that we need the clip to be on the back. The problem is if the clip's on the back, how do we get it to stick if the window's here? Now, there are other options. I've seen people that have put suction cups, magnets, and other things to the back of these 770 clips. But let's say you want to go in this way at a 90-degree angle. Well, we have a solution for you there too. All right, what you do, you can come in and you can take this 90-degree angle, and so we need to go up and over. So what we do, you can see that this has got a alignment piece. You just pop that in, and these are, by the way, available in black and white. And you can see now we can go at an angle. Now, we also have spacers here, so don't forget that you can also add in, you will need to add in additional pieces necessary to get the spacing right. So you can add in spacers if you need to, like this, to get it spaced up off. Let's say you need to come up off the brick. Or if you need to come over, so let's say you need to go the other direction, like this, and you need to come off the window, for example. Now, what's going to happen here is that when you put these in, you're of course going to put some sort of screw going into here, and the other end is going to have a piece here which you will put a screw into. This one's not quite right, and you'll have a screw that will come with this. You'll be able to run the screw through here, get that tightened down, and then you can simply just take some dikes and cut that off. All right, that completes our design and overview of the pixel pipe system, available only from HolidayCoro. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our staff, and we will be happy to help you with your project.